My name is Angie Stone-MacDonald, and I'm a professor of early childhood and inclusive education at the University of Massachusetts in Boston. And I'm here to give you some ideas for how to work with your young children at home, and even some of those kids in the lower and upper elementary ages, in how to engage them in some STEM activities while you have them at home, and to help them still continue to work on their problem-solving techniques. So there are two different types of exploration that are really important to help develop kids' problem-solving and critical thinking skills. The first type of exploration is open exploration. And this is really important to just allow kids to play with materials and to get to know them, to explore them without you giving them any guidance or telling them what to do. And Lacey here, my cat, is going to help us with some of our explorations. So for example, I have a box. I'm sure many of you may have some different boxes or Amazon boxes you've been getting like I do. And then I have toilet paper rolls that I've been collecting. And these are all things that you would have in the house that you have collected. And for this activity, the idea is just to see how we can stack them, how many of you have, into a box, and see how many fit, see how many they could estimate. If you have kids in elementary school, they could estimate the number in here and count the rows and count the columns and figure out how many you could fit. If you have younger kids, they can just work on their fine motor coordination in terms of being able to pick it up with a pincer grasp and to place it inside, seeing how many they can get in, or how close do you have to put them together to make it work. What happens if you take one out or two out and then they start to move around. And then I have some balls here. And these are just little tiny balls. You could use all different sizes. These just happen to be the ones that I have. And because we know that toddlers in particular and young preschoolers like to throw things, you could set this up at a safe distance and they could see where they get it in. So if I'm tossing one of these balls, I can just toss it in. Maybe I can predict which toilet paper roll I will get it into. Maybe I just see if I can get it in a toilet paper roll, or is it going to go in between toilet paper rolls. And my cats are very excited about helping me. I can honestly say I'm being more successful than I expected. And there we go. You can also set up the toilet paper rolls, or you could use paper towel rolls to make a bowling pin setup. And then you can explore, let them first explore in an open exploration, just how it would happen if you rolled the ball. How many can you knock down? Then you could try and do a more focused exploration where you're asking specific questions, either questions that they have or questions that you have, where you might try and see what would be the difference between rolling the small ball that we just did, a bigger ball, but that's very light, or maybe rolling even a bigger ball, but that is very soft. So obviously they have different characteristics, as well as just the level of force with which you would roll it would be another thing that you could explore with the kids to see what the impact is. So another simple idea would be to set up 2, 3, or maybe even 4 toilet paper rolls in a row, and without taping them, see if you can roll a ball through them and see it came out the other side. See if you can do it without disturbing them, or does it get caught. There I've done 3, but how many can I do and have it go all the way through? Finally, you could build some different structures with your different toilet paper rolls. You could see what kind of different shapes you could make, how many did you need on the bottom for a solid base. You might even see, can you add more? It's like a Jenga construction with toilet paper rolls. Try to figure out what you can do. I put 2 more up there. Oh, that's not gonna stay. Nope, can't get those to stay. Sometimes they fall down. And then of course kids love to be able to knock them down in some way, whether with their hand, a ball, their foot, whatever is safe and appropriate for that particular child. You can build all kinds of things. You could try cutting them apart and making more structures by building with them. You could also use tape or string or other materials that you may have at home to enhance this project and have them try and build something taller or bigger or using more or fewer. One of the things we want more or fewer toilet paper rolls. One of the things we typically do when we're using engineering design projects for any age is to make it a little bit harder. We start by letting kids explore and try and build whatever it is that we want them to build. So if it's a tower, they have to build a tower that meets our standards. It has to be a certain height, or it has to have a certain purpose. And then we give you constraints. So they have to build a tower, but they can only use maybe 10 toilet paper rolls. Or they can build the tower with as many rolls as they want, but they can't use any other things like tape or string or glue or anything else to hold it together. It has to stay together on its own. These are examples of constraints that you can use to make it harder and to help the activity extend a little bit farther for kids so that they can continue to work and grow with the project and continue to extend their problem-solving skills and ask more questions. And of course, it's always good when you can to include some kind of book or text that connects to the idea of what they're doing. I know that you don't have a lot of books at home necessarily that may fit this bill, but if you can find something, or maybe encourage your kids, depending on their age, to write their own story about what they're learning. This is a really interesting book for kids who have sensory issues called Ball, Ball, Ball. And in this book, there's a child who really likes balls, and he wants to do lots and lots of things with balls. His favorite word is balls. He saw balls everywhere, and they make him very happy. He also likes different sizes of balls and different textures of balls. He likes to explore things in his world and see if they're balls. He looked on his plate here and he sees green peas. And he tries to see if they're balls, but they're not. But they're in the same shape as a ball, so that does make him excited. At the end of the book, he finally gets to play with his balls. He gets to play with a real ball, and he hugs his mother to thank her for playing with the ball. with him. This is the book that you could use with the different ball activities, but there are also lots of cool building activities. I hope you enjoyed this video with some important information about how to engage your kids. This will be linked with some other activities and other resources that you can find that I think are really helpful, especially when you're trying to engage your kids at home and you have work to do of your own. This information will be at blogs.umb.edu/Angela Stone. That's blogs.umb.edu/Angela Stone. Thank you for joining me, and good luck playing with your kids and enjoying all the cool things that you can see them explore and learn to do during this time.